Morning, folks. Hope you're well. Welcome to the Leeds News. Bit different today. We're going to do it live, I suppose, what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we're going to do it live this morning. We've got a bit of stuff to get stuck into today. We've got mostly rumors at this point. There's not a huge amount of actually confirmed stories at this point. So we will do your chat as well. We'll get into the comments. There will be two streams today. Just this morning stream, which will give you the update on where everything is right now. Alex will be here tonight from 6 to 7, along with Andrea Russo and Paul Brooker to give you the latest in the final hour of deadline day. So you can check Alex, Paul, and Andrea out later on tonight. I'm doing some work with analysis in London today, so I'll be finishing this up and heading over to London. So Alex will be looking after you tonight. Alex normally hosts the Sunday sessions for us every week as well for our members and the couple of ones we've done publicly over the last few weeks. Lots of using the chat this morning. I hope you're all well. It's pretty quiet on the ground. I won't lie to you. I won't con you into sticking around, but it is deathly quiet around. But we will jump in. And Mike reckons that Strand Larson will be ours today. I think it might be. I saw so 50-50. I would agree with Paul here. I don't think so, but we'll never. You never know. It's mad. Did he go to Palace yet? We'll get into it because there's a bit of detail on that. It's not quite signed, sealed, and delivered. So JSL signed for Palace hasn't just yet. I don't believe, but will again all evolving. And if you're watching this later on demand, obviously this was live at 9 a.m. So yeah, it'll likely change over the course of the day. Back up left back, please. Tanya, good morning to you. Hope you are well. I also don't think that we'll get anyone in. Yeah, I'm not confident. I'm not confident that anybody comes in today, if I'm being really, really honest about the situation. What time is the window closed? At 7 p.m. UK time tonight. Has JSL signed for Palace? I've heard 43 million plus 5. Yeah, so we'll get into that in a second. Actually, we'll get into it right now. Let's just talk about it right now. Apparently, it's not confirmed just yet. The situation is that Mateta to AC Milan has to happen before they can look at potentially bringing in JSL. There's a bit of an issue with Mateta's medical. They're sending someone to London today to check a joint issue that he possibly has. And if that's okay, it'll all go through. Mateta will go to AC Milan and Strand Larson will go to Crystal Palace, but it's all dependent on that right now. I could see another loan move, maybe two. I think loans would be the smart one. I mean, I don't think anybody would say no to a James Trafford on loan till the end of the season. We'll talk about Daniel Parker's comments on that as well, because there was a lot to read into there. They didn't finish summer transfers off so wide today. No incomes. Yeah, it looks like they've used the window to try and finish off the summer ones, which is okay. I mean, if you get all the players you wanted in the summer, you don't need to do business in January. The rhetoric around January is always the same. It's anybody doing business in January didn't get their business done in the summer or is panicking. So whether or not they ticks one of the major boxes that we needed to get sorted in the summer. So that's one done. But we did want one more player. And I think we saw against Arsenal, there's another striker needed. There really is, because if Metch is going to be out injured, Joe Pirro can't play that hold up striker role. So we need somebody else there. Need a left-sided Justin and a striker, but I don't think that we get anyone. I would agree with you. I think if you're being honest about what Leeds need, they probably need a backup goalkeeper or a first choice goalkeeper, actually, at this point. They probably need cover at left wing back, and they probably need a striker. I don't think we get that. I think if we get one, we're lucky. West Ham and Forest doing business. Well, yeah, well, they are doing business. Yeah, but I don't think it really matters what anybody else is doing. I think we have to worry about ourselves. I mean, they have their own sets of issues, but Leeds really need to fix their own problems, and I'm not sure we're doing that just at the moment. Hopefully, we'll get somebody over the line. Fingers crossed. Liverpool got a new jacket. Good morning. Good morning. Here we go. Josh was there as well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. JSL held up because AC Milan want DAC report. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the issue there. Well done. Cheer live. What have I stumbled upon? Morning, Spick. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're well. Yeah, we do the deadline day news live because it'll change rapidly. And by the time I've recorded something, edited it, and walked out the door, it'll all have changed. So at least this way you kind of get an update. And again, this has begun, yeah. And then Alex will be here 6 o'clock till 7 o'clock tonight with Paul Brooker and Andrea to give you the last hour of the deadline day. I'll be floating around. If you want to follow me today, I'll be over on Instagram, the Leeds View on Instagram. I'm flying into the UK. I'm doing some stuff with analysis, possibly being Sky Sports at some point this evening as well. But if you want to check that out, you can follow me on the Leeds View Instagram account. If we're willing to spend 40 million on Strand Larson, I'd rather we spent it on strengthening the squad. Yeah, Dan Moylan said the same thing on the square ball. The issue with the 40 million is it's not 40 million in one lump. It's Leeds are trying to structure that over a couple of years, but it means they can do that. Would anybody be surprised if Harry Wilson walked through the door tonight? I don't know. Busy bank holiday for you, Jared. Yeah, it's a busy one, Marcus. It is a busy one today. Yeah. Jared, don't waste your time. Nothing will happen today. Sorry. That's okay, Andrew. Here for the chats more than anything else, Andrew. Afternoon, Jer, all the way from Thailand. Good afternoon. Oh, by the way, you just see it here. We have signed up with the partner with OK Jerseys. There's a code there for you if you want to use that on their website, okjersey.com. You have an 8% off code TLEADS at the moment. That code will change over the next couple of days. But right now, that is the code that we're using for the best football jerseys. Jerseys in £15. You can check them out if you want to help support the channel. 50 million nearly on JSL when Rodon has more Premier goals this season. Yeah, but I think it's more of a fitting of the style of what he does for Leeds, another hold-up player, another option for Diaz. But I agree. I think the money is way too high. Morning, Tony. How are you? Tumbleweed behind you. Yeah, well, do you know what? I was going to stick one in the box. I was going to put Tumbleweed in the box this one. Any news on the Korean gang forward? There's nothing in that at all. He struggled at Celtic. I don't think any reason why he come to the Premier League. I'll be very surprised. There's not a lot at Genk. Max Dean, former Leeds United player. You never know. I'll be very surprised if we get anyone in Yam the same. Morning, guys. Let's hope today is better than the start. I wouldn't put your hopes on it, Martin. I would be pinning your emotional future on Leeds doing business today. We won't do a January. But we have done a January signing, Dave. We have done a January signing. We have signed Facundo Buonanotte till the end of the year at least. So with that, Gruev heat coming for Gruev. Yeah. Another Pajot all over again. Actually, well, funnily enough, Pajot's struggling. Might have dodged a bullet there. Afternoon from a 44-degree in sunny West Oz, given deadline day closed at 3 a.m. per time. I think I'll give it a miss. I think you'd be smart to Mark. I think you'd be smart to. Top of the morning, Michael. How are you? Good afternoon from China. Who's holding their breath? Nobody. I'd hope to God there's nobody holding their breath. Need to get another loan. Morning, Jer. We could be. Would I be concerned if we don't bring in? I think it's a risk. I think you're potentially leaving yourself a little bit short going into the running. You're probably one or two injuries away from a real problem, and why give yourself that headache? Jer on his way to England. Looks like we have our defensive cover for deadline day. Yeah, I'm on my way to England. I'll be flying out of Dublin Airport at 12 o'clock, so I've got to get wrapped up pretty quickly. I seriously hope that we don't get JSL. I don't think JSL is coming. There's loads of comments. I won't get through all of your comments, but good morning to you anyway. Good afternoon if you're coming from different parts of the world. How was Ireland this morning? Chilly but clear, one more con. Ali says, ideally, we need someone who can play backup to both Stroke and Gabby, and a better, more agile Vober, and another target man. Yeah, a goalkeeper grade would be brilliant, but unlikely. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Lucas Perry first. I'll give you the updates on where we are with that. Sorry. Good morning, John. 2 private jets added late last night. The jet washers are in, as Joe Wayman would say. One from Seville at 10:30 delayed, and one from London at 6. That's going to cut it very tight if they are. Any other updates? If you do see any updates this morning, let me know. I hope you're all doing well and I've had a good weekend. We're not going to talk about the Arsenal game. We talked about it yesterday on the Sunday sessions. It was a lovely comment. Yeah, I do love the when things go bad for Leeds, the angry comments are always there. There was a guy yesterday accused me of what was the line he said? Jared thinking he's a gentleman, letting his guest do the intro. Alex hosts the Sunday sessions every single week. That's Alex's show, and I won't always be on that show. So, yeah, that's Alex's show on the channel, and Alex will host tonight again as well for the last hour. Right, we'll start off with Lucas Perry. We'll do Loan Watch as well. I'll give you the updates on Loan Watch. We'll try and do as much of the news as normal. I'll stick your comments up on screen there, so we have them. Make that a little bit thinner. Kind of in the way there. Can I move it over to the side? I can't. We'll go there for now. Right. Lucas Perry's latest situation. So a bid came in for him before the weekend from Besiktas in Turkey. The details on that have come out now a little bit as well. So apparently the bid from Besiktas was £10 million, which might not be a bad fee in the longer run, but in the short term, it caused Leeds a bit of a problem. And you can't have Roger, you can't have Solomon on loan again. He's got to Fiorentina. He's played 2 clubs this season, so he can't play for a third, but he scored for Fiorentina yesterday as well. Yeah, they came in with a £10 million bid for him. It was rejected by Leeds United straight away. He's expected to stay at Leeds at least until the end of the season. It was below the PSR amount that Leeds would need to break even on it at least. So Leeds have paid £15 million on him. They've obviously got an obligation over a couple of more years to put more money down on him. With the add-ons, so Leeds would need to at least recruit that. Otherwise, they put themselves in a bit of a PSR hole. No point in doing that. So as it stands right now, unless an offer comes in around the £15 million mark, which seems incredibly unlikely at this point, it seems that Lucas Perry will be staying put at Leeds United. Could be starting next week. We're back in the team next week. Very likely at this point. But yeah, Leeds have got a goalkeeper problem. All the goalkeepers have got positive attributes, but they've all got a little negative as well, and that's the problem Leeds have right now. They don't have an all-round keeper who just, doesn't slap the ball into his own net or doesn't let easy shots in, So, yeah, or isn't on his way out the door at the end of the season with like Melier he is, but yeah, Melier back in, all is forgiven. Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. And he's on his way out, and he might have to be deregistered if Leeds do something today. He might have to be deregistered. But the other one to talk about then is the income and stuff. Well, actually, we'll talk about the only other potential outgoing. It's Joe Peru, and the situation around Joe Peru is it hasn't really changed. Rangers interest, but that's the connection between Leeds United and Rangers there as well. The situation with that one is Joe Perry doesn't want to go. Leeds aren't going to sell him or loan him out unless they've got another striker in. Had Strand Larson come in, you may have seen Perry move on. That hasn't happened, so that's not going to materialise. He might be again used as a make weight if Leeds do need to move somebody on. Then maybe he will be the one that will go to Rangers close to deadline day. But you just you don't want to get into that deadline there where you're like, oh, hang on, don't go to bed just yet, and then Leeds United have sold Lucas Perry and Joe Peru. We don't want to get into that situation again. But yeah, that's the situation with Joe Peru. Likely to be staying put for now at the very, very least. We'll see what happens further down the line. Let's get into the incoming ones and the rumors that came out over the weekend before we look at chat and we get back into some Twitter accounts and talk about this man. John Duran has been linked with Leeds United over the past couple of days. He's currently playing for Fenerbahce. So he went to Saudi Arabia after leaving Aston Villa, kind of forced his way out of Villa, wanted to be a main starter, didn't want to sit on the bench behind Ollie Watkins, wanted to move, pushed for a move, and got it, went to Saudi Arabia. He's been on loan at Fenerbahce this season. Now, so far this season, he started 6 games, 10 appearances in total. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists. The issue with this is that the reports have come from 2 places. They've come from Team Talk and they've come from Ekrem Kanor, who both of them wouldn't be overly reliable at this point of a transfer window based on the links that have come out from them this season already. What it says about John Duran is that agents have offered him to Leeds, Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspur. Palace still in the mix, but only in the mix if they don't get another striker. Now, the issue with John Duran is simple. When you go back to Daniel Farke's comments about Leeds, the dressing room and the stability of the squad is of the most importance, the highest importance for the club. John Duran would have a habit and a knack for upsetting a dressing room. So I don't think John Duran fits what Leeds are looking for. This, from all the reports that have been put out, this very much feels like it's a case that the agent is touting this and the agent has offered him to club, but it's not one that Leeds have gone looking for themselves. So I would imagine John Duran is a very unlikely one to happen at all. So that is there. But yeah, right now, I wouldn't put a huge amount of stock in this. I mean, crazier things have happened, but I wouldn't put a huge amount of stock in this one right now. I would say, yeah, and I said exactly the point there from Tony. Duran is toxic. He has got it. It does sound like an 80s band. It does. His wages be too high as well. That's the same with the Raheem Sterling link as well. We're not even going to cover that, but Raheem Sterling wants 280 grand a week. I think Leeds' highest paid player is 90 grand a week. So, and again, not a striker. Doesn't really fit what Leeds are looking for. But yeah, that's John Duran right now. Has had an injury as well this season. The fact that he's bouncing around clubs now will be concerning as well from a dressing room perspective. The fact that he's gone from Aston Villa, wanted to move to Saudi, got to move to Saudi, then moved to Fenerbahce, and now looking to move again would be, yeah. Strong pass. Yeah, I would be the same. Tanya's saying, if we get a goalie in, we'll have 5 senior goalkeepers. Ridiculous. Yeah, it is. We have more goalkeepers than we do strikers and wingers. Although Ilan Melier is currently registered in 25-man squad. I think if Leeds bring in another player, they'd have to deregister somebody if they want to bring in more than one player. Right now, Leeds will need to operate on a 1-in, 1-out basis because they're at the max of, they're not at the max. They're 24 of 25 men squad. They can bring in one more without unregistering a player, deregistering a player, whatever the word is. And then after that, it will be somebody needs to go or be unregistered. And that could be a case that happens with Melier. Are we naive enough? Andrew saying, hang on. Sorry, Andrew. There we go. Are we naive club hoping everything's going to be okay? I think they're trying to tread the PSR line. I think it is a bit naive to think you're okay. I think if they come out after tonight, after not signing anybody and say, yeah, we're grand, that's probably a bit naive. Won't be signing anyone. I don't think so. No, I would agree. I don't think we will sign anyone. I just think we can stay up without any new signings. I think we can, but I think it'll be it'll be a little more dangerous than it needs to be. I think we'd be taking a huge risk, but I mean, you're hoping DCL doesn't get injured between now and the end of the season. You're hoping James Justin, Gabby Goodmunson, and Jaden Bogle go injury free. You're hoping the three centre backs. We need to get Jakob all back to start with because he's massively missed on the side. But yeah, I think it's a bit of a risk. Tony's saying would love a left back and a striker. I think we're all in the same boat with that one. Yeah. Just joined. What's the news on this morning? Not a whole lot in terms of transfers, but that's the latest on John Duran. The other link this morning to Leeds is a strange one. It's Endrick, the current Real Madrid 18-year-old striker. Now, the issue with that is Ficias in Spain are saying that he's been linked to Leeds and Sunderland. Both sides really like him. He's currently on loan at Lyon, so that would be a problematic move. The deal would have to be cancelled with Lyon. Lyon would have to approve the cancellation. He would have to go back to Real Madrid, and then he would have to come to Leeds. So there's a lot of moving parts in that one. And again, the window closes at 7 o'clock tonight. So that doesn't seem likely either. Anything on the Wolfsburg forward? Actually, yeah, there is. I'll get that one to you straight off the reel. Give me one sec. Mohamed Amori informed his club of his desire to leave. So he wants to leave Wolfsburg. Leeds have been mentioned as a player with him. Coach was pretty angry. They dropped him at the weekend because of this. They said it was a disciplinary issue. But since then, not a lot else has happened. I can give you the blow by blow. Obviously, Leeds are interested in the striker. There is connections between Leeds and Wolfsburg. They say about this in the next post. Leeds are indeed interested in Mohamed Amora. The file has been open for some time, but it has very little chance of coming to fruition before the end of the transfer window unless there is a dramatic twist. The Wolfsburg striker will continue this season at the club. So he doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere. He wants to move. He'd be keen to come to Leeds, but it appears right now, according to this, that won't be the case. He won't be going anywhere. So, again, I agree. Endrick is totally incompatible with Leeds' style of play. So again, I don't think there's anything in that. Wacko put something up about Amora. Amora is the more likely. Again, he doesn't necessarily fit the bill of what Leeds are looking for as a target man. So it would be a sharp right turn away from JSL to go for someone like that. But this would be the one, Nicholas. This would be the one. If Leeds are going to do any business quickly today, loans look like to be the way. Now, Lyle Thomas. I guess you're the latest from Lyle Thomas as well from Sky Sports because he was talking about Leeds as well. And he says that Leeds won't be going. There we go. So he basically says a striker signing is unlikely for Leeds United after Crystal Palace have signed Jurgen Strand Larsen. However, a late arrival at Leeds is not being ruled out at this stage. Window shuts. So a striker seems unlikely, but a new player isn't being ruled out at this point. It probably could be a defender at this point, but we'll wait and see. I'll just have a quick look and see what's going on right now. Any new updates before we get into long watch and wrap up then this morning. Team Talk again this morning have come out with a potential late option for Leeds. John Duran's agent's working to push through his move for the striker, but it's all coming from Duran's agent. All of it is coming from him. So, yeah, not much on that one. And then just on a quick dip in to see if there's any final bits. We'll do a long watch then. We'll wrap it up. No, really, really quiet. Really, 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 really quiet. Yeah, the Endrick stuff was floating around this morning. So that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'll be shocked, actually, if it happens. You never know. Deadline day, Joe Peru to Rangers link is still there. He won't go unless Leeds bring somebody in. Right, long watch stuff, just to give you the deets on that. Larry Ramazani this weekend was an unused sub for Valencia. They lost 2-1 to Real Betis. Isaac Schmidt got over his little injury that saw him miss last week's game for Werder Bremen. He came off the bench in the 75th minute. They drew 1-1 with Borussia Mönchengladbach. Max Ferber still injured, so they didn't play at all this weekend. Jack Harrison was an unused sub for Fiorentina. That doesn't bode particularly well. Jack, his first game with Fiorentina, came off the bench. He started then last week for them, and since his start, he was an unused sub in their game this weekend. Harry Gray started again for Rotherham and scored again for a lovely finish, by the way. Left-hand side, cut in to the right and shot in at the near post. Lovely finish. They've won again. Their season is starting to turn around, and Gray's been part of that. Roy Mahadi for Scunthorpe, their match was postponed. He ended up playing for the Leeds United under-21 side instead, and they got absolutely hammered as well by Arsenal 4-0. So a lot of that going around. And Joe Gelhardt started for Hull City on his return from injury. And they won 1-0 against Blackburn. They're doing fine at this stage as well. So how can a player even pass the medical at this stage? So a lot of the medical will be done at their own club. and then the reports are sent across, or just stuff done via video call as well. If it's in the UK, they'll do the medical here. If it's not in the UK, they'll do the medical at the other club. That's what tends to what happens um, on deadline day. My prediction for the window will be lucky to get one across that. Yeah, you've got to look at it this way. 49ers, since they've come in, their January transfer windows have been Connor Roberts on loan on deadline day, nobody last year, and likely to be nobody this year. We got Facundo Bueno, they came in already, but on deadline day, likely nobody else. They don't like January. Most clubs don't like January, but when you're in the situation where Leeds are, you probably could do it just making sure your bases are covered coming into the end of the season. But that'll be it, folks. I'll start to wrap it up there. Massive thanks for everyone who's joined us live. Really, really appreciate it. Alex will be hosting tonight, 6 till 7 o'clock, along with Paul Brooker and Andrea Russo, to bring you to the last hour deadline day and wrap up any late transfers if they do happen. If you want to follow me today, check out the Leeds View Instagram page. I will be on my way to London in the next couple of minutes to do some work with analysis today and Sky Sports News later on tonight. So for deadline day, representing the Leeds fans. So you can check that out if you want to. If not, don't worry about it. I'll see you tomorrow anyway for the news. Tomorrow's news will be a bit late because I'm back late tomorrow. If I can get out in the morning, I'll get out in the morning. If you could hit the like on the way out, that'd be massively appreciated as well. And check out OK jerseys as well. There's an 8% off there on the £15 jerseys. Code is there, T Leeds, for right now. You can check that out if you want to support the channel. We'll be working with them for a bit moving forward, so you can check that out if you want to. Outside that, have a great rest of your day. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We get one across the line today. If we don't, we'll have to push on as we are and get a result against Forest on Friday night. Outside that, folks, have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you soon. See you later. Thanks. Bye.